Hello and welcome to the Mal&Johnny Show. Well, I think we were all pretty excited with the Eurovision Song Contest this year, with the scores going right down to the wire, with the public vote changing it significantly in the last couple of minutes, meaning Ukraine won. But the British guy did very, very well indeed, so well done to him, the spaceman. But we've been a part of a song contest, Johnny and I, over many, many years, and we're going to talk song contests in general. Now then, Johnny, what was your first song contest? Would it have been in the with the clubs that done... I don't know, talent contest? Would you have ever done anything like that?
No, the first talent contest I did was Opportunity Knocks. But my first song contest was in Gibraltar.
Right.
And that was funny enough, through Opportunity Knocks, I got a recording contract. And the people I was recording for sent some of my demos to Gibraltar. They chose me to sing one of the songs. So I represented Great Britain, and there was 15 other singers on the bill as well. So we all sang in St Michael's Cave in Gibraltar, which is quite an experience because it's a huge auditorium with all these stalactites all lit up with a big, like there was about 30-piece orchestra there as well. So it's wonderful acoustics. So it's quite interesting, really.
And then to the actual sort of because how do you judge one song against another? It's always a tricky thing, isn't it? I mean, they've done it for years and years. What did you think of the judging? Well, obviously you thought it was pretty good because you won.
Well, it's pretty good because I won it. But it was funny because I've been a judge myself once. When I was only about 18, I was even less than that, 17. My father had this pub in Cardiff, and he, as you know, he used to be in show business. And all the BBC wallers used to come up to the pub.
Right.
So a guy called Brian Evans, who was then head of light entertainment at the BBC in Cardiff, he said, would I like to go as a judge for Eurovision? I said, yeah, okay. Because in those days, they used to have panels in different towns. There'd be one in Cardiff, one in Birmingham, and so on, in London. And then we'd have the preliminaries, and we'd vote. And then it was quite a good day out for me, because I was a kid, and I was very interested in all this. And then he rings me up after and said, right, well, they want you to go to London now, so you have to go to Bush House and be in the final panel that does the thing for the whole of Eurovision.
Wow.
So up I go to London, have a day out, and, fed and watered, and I think it was the Allisons. Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm not sure what to do. I think they came second, actually.
Right.
So it was quite an experience. That was my first experience of a song contest.
Yeah, how did you do the voting? Because I think people would be interested in that now. Because
we had so many votes each. I think it's a long time ago. I'm trying to think. I think we say we had 10 or 12 votes each, or whatever it was. And we're allowed to vote for all the different songs. So you can say, I'll give him 1, I'll give him 4, I'll give him 6, but he's going to get 8 or whatever until you've done, the amount you're allotted. That's the way it worked.
Right. And were there categories, like presentation, lyrics, or did you just...
No, there was none of that. It was just a song. No. Now it's become a production, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's all about the dancers now.
Spain.
Wearing as little as possible. Spain would...
I thought she was great.
Rather nice-looking girl. I thought she looked like Penelope Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I did the first time. And then I did the Gibraltar one, as I told you. That was quite an experience, because what we did, there was 15 of us singing. Mm-hmm. Then they voted. Then they whittled that down to, I think it was 5. Then the 5 had to sing again. Wow. Then they whittled it down to 3. And then it was who was first, second, and third. Wow. And there was a girl in it called Rosanella Love Band. That was her real name.
What a great name.
And she used to sing with Joe Loss's band, No, was it Joe Loss? Or one of those. She used to sing with a big band anyway.
Yes.
And she did lots of radio broadcasts, like Parade of the Pops and so. She had a wonderful voice, good singer. And she had a belt. She had one song, it was a real belter. And I thought it was like a bassy, I thought, oh, she's going to win this.
Yeah.
But she was in the mix of the 3. So they said, third is, and whoever the third was, and the second, and they said, Rosanella. Oh, my God. And first is Johnny Tudor with Don't Take Your Love Away. It was written by, who wrote it? Jeff Stevens. Who wrote Winchester Cathedral.
Right, so you had a good pedigree. So obviously that competition went well.
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, they used to have, they'd pick somebody like this, The Shadows or Mary Hopkin or
right.
And then they played
Richard.
them one every Saturday, wouldn't they? And then you could vote with a postcard. The public would vote for and I know that Elton John got through to the final 6 with Lulu, and didn't win.
Yeah.
So the public had a vote. Now then, first connection was Song for Europe. So Song for Europe was the British version, and then whoever won.
It went before it went to the other one. Yeah.
And it was a great experience. It was Terry Wogan's show. So he went up and did the Terry Wogan show with the Ronnie Hazelhurst Orchestra, which was fantastic. And then the night itself and the votes coming through. Now they had panels all around the country rather than all around Europe.
That's right.
I remember.
Well, that must have been what I did originally then, because I was in Cardiff.
Right.
A panel in Cardiff. They were, as you say, every town or big town had one of these like panels.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm devastated. Wales gave me, I don't know, 2 points or something. They didn't even put me first. And I was Welsh. Unbelievable.
How dare they?
How dare they? But it's a funny feeling, isn't it? Waiting for, when you obviously you say, well, it doesn't matter. It's not important. It's everybody. We're on this together. We're all winners. And then when you don't win, it's pretty gutting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is gutting. You see, people don't realise, because you put so much into it, and then you can't just brush it off, can you?
No.
Well, I remember changing it was also similar. Like, somebody asked me to do New Faces once, and I said, well, no, I don't want to do New Faces. I've just done Knock Knocks, and I've won that, so I didn't want to do it, you see. Yeah. And they persuaded me, and they kept on, you've got to do it, Johnny. And I did it. And I didn't win it. I came second. And I was gutted. Yeah. And it was some comic one. I can't remember who he was. But the thing is, I got a job out of that. Somebody rang me up and gave me a job in France to do a gig. So it still paid off. But that awful feeling that you've lost.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Losing. It's horrible. I remember, in the bathroom before going out, because you knew there were going to be, there were only a couple of channels when I used to do it. So, I think it was 17, 18 million. And
how many songs did you have? Just the one song?
Just the one song. And I didn't actually enter the competition. Somebody had found the song at a publisher's and entered it without telling me. And then he's got through to the last 50 and he's got, thinking, Eurovision, I don't want to do that. And then suddenly you're in the last 6 or last 8 or whatever it is, and you think, well, it'd be a nice trip to London, wouldn't it? And
that's right.
I remember thinking, I'm either going to sing this song every night for the rest of my life or I'm never going to sing it again. Well, of course, I never sang it again.
What was a bummer was with me too, because one of the blokes had written some songs for me, David Myers. They actually got one into Eurovision the year afterwards.
No.
Now, what did they write? I think it was Clodagh Rogers.
Oh.
It did quite well too. Yeah. Now, I don't know if did it win it? I think they won it. Yeah. Well, I think they did win it.
We used to win it a lot in those days.
But they didn't have me on it. That was a bummer.
And then that's why it doesn't work. All right, other song competitions. So obviously there's a Welsh. I'm not sure if people would know this, but there's a Welsh song contest every year called Carni Gymru.
Carni Gymru,
for Wales. When have you done it? You have done it. You must have done it.
Yeah, we did it. Owen and I did it. We did it back blinking heck, 80s. We just decided to stick a song in because I just made an album in London and we'd written a couple of the tracks. But I don't write much music. I've written a couple of songs, but I don't call myself a songwriter. But we've written this one. It was quite good, and it was a bit country and western, and it was called Reno. And I can't remember what we translated it into in Welsh. It had to be in Welsh, as you know.
Ponty.
Yeah, the Ponty. No, I don't think it's
Swansea.
My dick. Isn't it funny how Americans will write songs about towns and it sounds great, and we try it doesn't work.
How'd you get on? How'd you get on? Did you win?
We came second.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it wasn't too bad.
No, that's not bad.
So I think about 6 or 7 songs into. I can't remember now. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. I did it once as a contestant. Gareth Morlais was in a band called Ceffyl Pren. I think it's Ceffyl Pren. Iron Horse. Lovely boy, Gareth, lovely boy. And he took a song that I'd written, he put some Welsh words to it, and we went to North Wales, up in Barced, up in Caernarfon.
Barced,
lovely Barced. We did the show, and we didn't win. It was a long trip home. I can tell you it was a long trip home. But then I got the gig for actually being the musical director.
Oh, that's good.
Or musical diplomat, as I used to call myself, because I had to be the liaison between the artists and the production team. That was quite fun.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we did it in a place called Pontryd Fendigheid. Have you ever been to Pontryd Fendigheid?
I think I've been through Pontryd Fendigheid.
Most people have been through it. Have you ever been to...
No, I don't think so.
So Pontryd Fendigheid has this massive...
But have you been to Llanrhaeadr y Mochnan? That'd be good. You'll have a song. I stroll the streets of
I'm walking down the city street, Llanford and the Mochre. Spad spread in the news. I'm leaving to be a part of it. You take it. Llanford, Mochre. Anyway, so Pontrhydd Fendigaidd is in West Wales. Lovely part of the world. And I think one of the old boys of the town went to London and made a fortune selling milk. I think he beat like one of the milk franchises. Or as they said, watering down the milk. Anyway, I digress. That's probably libelous and I would never repeat it. But anyway, he made a fortune with milk and he put a lot of money into building a big hall in Pontrhydd Fendigaidd. It's amazing. It's like a 2,000 or 3,000 seater hall in Pontrhydd.
Wow.
So the circus turned up in town. In fact, we did two programs. On the next day, it was like with lots of choirs. But on the Friday night, it was for Carney Gymru. And Gwenda Owen from West Wales, had a lovely song, and it needed an uilleann pipe. Now, do you know what an uilleann pipe is?
Is it a bit like the Northumbrian pipe?
Northumbrian pipe. You're right on the ball. It's like one of these ones you go, you pump it up that way. And we got the guy called Troy. I wonder if I should say. Anyway, we went Troy. Troy was he's the finest uilleann pipe player in the country. He plays with Barbara Dixon and stuff. And so you're in the middle of West Wales. We do the show. Now then, I don't think we thought that Gwenda was going to win. Well, Troy, the uilleann pipe player, didn't think that Gwenda was going to win. It was the only song he was taking a part in. So they come to the end of the show, and then the voting goes public. So then we go down to the Red Lion in Pontrhydd Fendigaidd.
Yeah.
And do you want to drink, Troy? Well, I'll have a drink. The rest of the band are going, well, better not, just in case we're going to have to play now and go back. So Troy's thinking he's got 1 in 8 chance of playing a game. He doesn't think he's going to win. Do you want another drink, Troy? Yeah, another drink, Troy. So by the time we get back for the results show, he's absolutely legless. I think I can fairly say that without being libelous at all. Absolutely legless. Yeah. And the winner is Gwenda Owen.
So he's got to play again.
He's got to play. Honestly, it sounded like a strangled dead cow. It was just this horrible sound in the background because he was completely bladdered, as I think the technical term is. That was a good show. I mean, did you watch the show on Saturday? Did you watch the Eurovision?
I did watch it. Yeah, I thought some of the ballads were a bit. What can I say without being insulted? They didn't seem to go anywhere. I tell you, I quite like. I like the rock and roll band from
Moldova.
Where were they from?
Moldova.
Finland.
1, 2. Here we go. Oh, the Finland guys. Yeah, the one with the hair and everything. Yeah. They certainly.
I quite like them, and I quite like the others jumping about. What was that? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, Spain.
But you can never tell. You can never tell by listening once, can you, to a song?
No.
Nobody can. I mean, you've got to. It's like when you get the song pluggers on and they put it on the radio every other hour. You get so used to it, you like it in the end, or you don't like it, one or the other. But you can't like it straight off.
It was interesting, when I was doing the My Song for Europe a long time ago, before the war. I was
the Boer War.
We beat those Boers. They beat Napoleon. He was rubbish, that Napoleon Bonaparte. They started to think about getting a hit, before it goes to the Eurovision Song Contest. And I was approached, and I'm sure the same people approached everybody who didn't have a record deal, like a major record deal, saying that if you win, we'd like to put the record out and get it out straight away. So it's across Europe. But obviously, this guy, Sam, the spaceman, they did that, didn't he? He had, I don't know how many million people follow him on TikTok, and so he had that following, and he had the record out there, so people knew it.
Knew the song,
which is good. Isn't it? That's that's a real.
Because it was, I think the Italian song. There's two guys, and they were out of tune, but everybody said it was a huge hit
across Europe
in Italy. But they've been playing it, and it was #1 and all this. Yeah. So they were hoping big things for it,
Yeah. But having said that, I loved ABBA. I always loved ABBA. I loved ABBA.
Oh, they're great.
I loved ABBA before ABBA were ABBA. I remember sitting down and watching the Eurovision Song Contest and thinking, this is fantastic, and they need to win with Waterloo, and they won, which was great. And then, ABBA weren't terribly popular, but neither was the Eurovision Song Contest. But it's now got a new. Well,
it's a cult now, isn't it?
It is,
bit of a cult.
It is. I mean, do you enjoy it?
Bit of a celebration. We all get a few drinks and watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was with my daughter and the son-in-law, and we were watching the scores coming in. They were getting so excited because they'd never seen the Britain winning. they couldn't believe. And I think everybody.
Who was the last to win then? Was it Clodagh Rogers?
No, I think it was Love Shine a Light Every Corner of the World. Katrina and the Waves.
Oh right, yeah.
Shining.
I'm trying to think which one she did. Clodagh Rogers. It was quite good. It was a bit puppet on a string-ish.
Yes,
if I remember that kind of
Well,
thing. I mean, Sandy Shaw won it. We know she won it.
Absolutely.
Cliff came second.
Yeah, Boom Bang Bang. Lulu.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Mary Hopkin.
And Lulu, Bang Bang Bang. But yeah, that's
Mary Hopkin lost to Dana. I remember being devastated when Dana.
Oh
won.
yeah. All kinds of everything.
Remind me of you, Johnny. Remind me of you.
I know.
And of course, the first thing you do, go and buy the record. Then and next, get your mum to go. Well, my mum to go.
That's right. That's right.
And buy the record.
It's funny because when I did the Gibraltar one, I had made the record because it was just a demo was sent out. And they like you said with yours, they liked the demo, put it in the thing. So then after I finished and I won it, then I went in the studio the next week to make the record. But the funny thing is with the one I did in Connacht-le-Zout, that's in Belgium. That was done through Opportunity Dance. But that wasn't a song contest, that was a singing contest.
Oh, I see.
So we all had to sing 4 songs each.
Yeah.
And there were 5 of us in the team. There was me, there was Julie Rogers of the Wedding fame, there was Elaine Del Mar, who was a really great jazz singer.
Yeah.
There was a Scottish girl called, I forgot her name, and there was Lee Lynn, she was Irish, so there was all of us in it, and then we all had to sing 4 or 5 songs each. Right. And it was done over a period of about like 3 or 4 days, so you'd sing 2 one day and 2 the next one. So that's how we did that one, but that was like a singing contest rather than, and I looked it up, everybody done it. Engelbert had done it. Yeah. Who else had done it? All the big stars.
Jose Feliciano.
Wilde had done it.
Jose Feliciano, I think. No, not Jose Feliciano. Who was the Spanish guy?
Iglesias. What's his name?
Jose Iglesias.
Jose Iglesias had done it. I didn't know that either. Yeah. I was in Spain. I might have told you I was in Spain over Christmas, and I was in a little bar and playing some fellow called Perret. Now he was on the Spanish team. See.
Wow.
So I said, "Oh, was that Perret?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I work with him." He didn't believe me. I said, "I'll show you." I said, so I looked it up. 1969 Connacht Song Festival. And there's my name, and there's Perret.
No, fantastic.
We had coffee for nothing.
Fantastic. But and it's funny though you say that it was a singing competition rather than a song competition, because Eurovision is a bit of an everything competition, isn't it? I mean, the song is obviously the song's important, but the performance, you remember making your mind up with Bucks Fizz. You remember the skirts coming off as much as the hook line. So it's. No,
Engelbert did it a couple of years ago, didn't he?
He did.
They dragged him into it, and it was a good song.
Yeah.
But I think he got a bit nervous on the day. No, he shouldn't have, a man like him. But I can imagine why he would get nervous, because he was a huge star and didn't want to lose, I suppose.
No, Bonnie Tyler did it as well. Bonnie did it 1 year.
Yeah. But you put yourself up, you see, when you do those, to be knocked down. You got to go with the flow.
But as you say, if you're in it, you might win it, but you might get a gig in France.
That's right.
You've always got to...
I went to Lyon and did it France.
Right, before we go, I see you doing a concert for Ukraine. When is that?
Yeah, that's on the 27th, the week Friday. They're doing it in my village in Wenbo, and they've got a really nice hall here, and they're going to do a race night. So the guy called Mark, who I did his show for, he does a race thing when he puts a big screen up and have like horse racing, and the punters can do all that first. And Anwar in our village, he runs the local shop. He's got a Indian restaurant as well, so he's going to provide Indian food for everybody.
Oh, lovely.
And then I'll get my old tap shoes out and sing a few songs.
Fantastic.
So it should be a good night. But the main thing is we're raising money for those poor people over in Ukraine.
Yeah, brilliant. And how do people find? Well, if they go onto your socials, your social media.
They'll see it on Facebook, on Twitter, or any of those.
Fantastic. All right, well, I hope that goes well.
Buy now to avoid disappointment. So what are you up to next? You got
what am I up to next? No, bits and bobs, really. I'm not touring until November, so yeah, plenty of time to live.
Well, I must say too, Ruth Jones sent me a lovely message saying she'd enjoyed our podcast about Gavin and
Stacey. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said she enjoyed it, so that was very nice.
Any tips? Did she say what did she say to you?
No, she just she did say when I suggested macchiato that it was a good idea.
It was a good idea. We should have gone with it. What was the line again so everybody knows what we're talking about?
Well, I had to say, I got 7 Elvises here, all gasping for a cappuccino.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say macchiato because it was more Cardiffian. And then we went with the original again.
I think James Corden.
His mother didn't like it. He said his mother wouldn't understand it. She doesn't know what a macchiato.
Bet she does now. I bet she knows what it is now since she's got to
She does know.
All right, well, lovely to speak to you. And if there are any song contests out there, me and Johnny are going to do a duet.
That's right, why not? The Mal and Johnny on Tour show.
So anyway,
I'm going to learn to tap dance and I'm going to learn to play the guitar.
It's been lovely chatting to you guys always, Johnny Tudor. So, as we always say, it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from you. See you soon. Ta-da, man. Bye. Ta-da.